Good morning. We'll get started here in just a minute. I'm going to grab a coffee and we'll be right back. Good morning, Lucas. How are we today, buddy? Good to see you. Wow, that coffee's hot. Oh my God. Mike's good. Can you hear me? Perfect. Sounds good, man. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it, brother. Oh, man. All right. Let's get this thing started, boys. My camera is not in the right place, and I'm waiting for something to get here, so I have a very bad angle on my camera, and so we'll just have to deal with it today. Let's do this. All right. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Lucas, good to see you here this morning, buddy. Let's vibe code some things, man. All right. So today on tap is going to be figuring out what we want to do all week. So we're going to take some notes here this day. Good to see you, buddy. All right. So let's remake one. Stream Deck out of software this week, because I really don't want to pay for an Elgato Stream Deck, so we're gonna do All right, so I got a Stream Deck. Okay. We'll do that. We'll turn this up just a little bit. Turn this down just a little bit. Yeah, hang on. All right, maybe that should be just a little better. Maybe we can turn down the music a little bit and turn up the gain on the mic just a little bit. I'm not good with microphones. I don't know, for some reason they always evade me. They're what's that word you used yesterday? They're trying to avoid me. Because it stopped. It started a new song. See, is that any better? I'll get you a little more in there. It's weird because it takes an extra few minutes or a couple seconds for it to go through on your side. That's decent. Okay, we'll stick with that for now. We'll hit the music down just a little bit more. Excavating. I'm excavating myself. All right, so we're gonna build an Elgato Stream Deck on stream this week to get everything started. We're gonna build all the graphics for our stream. Can't type. What else do we need? We need to excavate. Let's see. What else do streams need? Emails, branding. What else do we need? I still can't get over excavating. Circumventing, I think was the word you were looking for. Circumventing. Let's see. Let's pull something up. Okay, so we got the Stream Deck. So we're going to open up X. Let's see. We already started this project actually, so we'll just open up a terminal here. I'll go to me. Elgato. Skipping all permissions dangerously. You gotta turn on scribe. Loading the big model. Loaded. All right. Start this up and let's take a look at this and see where we can improve it. Yeah, so I figured instead of buying an Elgato Stream Deck, we'd just create one on stream and then use the number pad keys for the macros. So we can have 15 keys. And what code takes a look here? We'll open up another one. We're going to open up codecs here. We were working in yesterday. Everything's opening all at once. And here was what I came up with to begin with. I came up with a button type application. It clicks and stuff when you tap on them. I don't really like the UI very much, but it works on another monitor. And if you are on a touchscreen laptop or something, it works really good. Or really well, sorry. Claude says, Grid is a solid MVP, software Stream Deck built with Atari and React, OBS integration, drag and drop. It connects into OBS through WebSockets. Deck area feels empty with 1 to 2 buttons, lots of dead space below. Button editor model is very long. No visual press, that's right. The holy shit, don't press this, danger zone is heading fun. Holy shit, don't press this. You don't want to press that button. That will do all of your layouts. No undo. Okay, let's build a plan to fix these issues, and I also want to add interactivity with the buttons. I want to be able to add colors and icons to them, make them move with GIFs if I could. So what are you working on today, Lucas? You working on your application? You gonna do the project stream thing today if Matthew opens that up? I mean, it's not as cool as a piece of hardware that you have sitting on your desk, but I figure if you already have hardware that you can use and you don't want to spend the money on it, why not? Integrating Stripe, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Make sure that you use the Stripe MCP and that you, or the Stripe SDK, either one of those. It's really good with those. The command line tool makes it a lot easier too if you're using Claude. Just from my personal experience. So Claude's putting together a plan right now to get this worked up, and it should take just a minute. But this is a tower application. It's built in Rust, ready for the web too. And we'll go over here and open up Codex, and we're working on OpenClaw. We're working on deployment and managing servers for OpenClaw. And we built an entire tool, an entire backend for OpenClaw. We built it up purely on Cloudflare. I run the Cloudflare, actually Cloudflare, DigitalOcean, and Hetzner. Launches servers to each of those locations, completely secures a OpenClaw instance, and lets you do whatever you want with it. You look into it? Good. We'll tell Codex to continue. Claude is still billowing over here. We've written 9,000 lines of code to this application so far. Haven't removed a single one. Scary. I gotta get one of these cool UIs so I can have all kinds of cool stuff going on, slot machines and stuff. It's always fun in his chat, Quad's chat. Yeah, when you use Stripe, you want to make sure that everything is everything's copacetic. You don't want to circumvent anything. And for the OpenCloud bots, we're having everything pretty much run in Discord. You can run over Discord, Signal, Excavate. All right, we'll excavate it. I got you, Lucas, buddy. You're right. I'm going to replace circumvent with excavate in my daily routine. Not that I say those things often, but man, you never realize how loud you swallow drinks until you do it when there's a microphone next to you. All right, so Claude's come up with a plan to implement this better. That's good. I can go back to working on some things for the week here. Build the graphics for the stream. We'll do the emails and branding. There's different projects. Let's do stream deck, stream buttons. Actual stream. Typing is not there today. And then with that look and feel comes an overall design aesthetic. We'll have header graphics, heroes, comment section, reviews, customer interactions, things like that. All right, Claude says, debound states, good. UX polish, animated background support, good. Button tile rendering, good. All good things, all good things. We always just make sure it doesn't have like a remove desktop, delete computer, siphon 401k. You'd be surprised what they hide in here. All right, I think that's good. I think what we'll do is go ahead and continue that. Rebuild local disty. Excuse me. All right, we'll clear context and let that rip, and we'll watch this get built live there. And we are on the next setup here of OpenClaw. I don't have the public key yet. We'll have to set that up later. Go ahead and just leave it for now, and let's go ahead and work on the next thing. I can't wait to see you share your app today. That should be fun. I've finished Discord interaction support. All right. Let me get my other camera working. Get this thing out of my face. Yeah, man. Lucas says I can't wait either. I think I've pushed it too far. Let's see how it goes. Absolutely, dude. Sometimes you just got to get it out there. I think you were the person who told me just do it. I think you stole that from Nike, but you know, it is what it is. So Kyle, Claude is going here. Kyle's going. Codex is going. Codex is working on OpenClaw. I wish I would have kept on this project a couple months ago and rode the hype, but I'm sure there'll be some new hype soon with something. Cloud's still going, Codec's still working. What more things can we do for our stream here this week? New projects. We're also going to work on some custom things for Minimax. We're going to build a Minimax UI next week from the ground up. We're going to use all of their APIs, and we're going to build an entire client that is coding, audio, video, start to finish. Should be fun. Next time is just how often do you plan to stream? Probably 3 or 4 days a week, I'm hoping. I wouldn't mind keeping a regular schedule. Delete what? I didn't see anything. All right, so we migrated to Cloudflare already, and it looks like the D1 is running. It got excavated. It's fine. No problem. No problem at all. Okay. They finally fixed Discord on the new version of Mac, the operating system, so I can use push to talk. It's amazing. Thank you, Apple. We appreciate you, buddy. Let's go ahead and continue. We try to keep everything on Cloudflare. Make sure everything stays under one bill. Oh, well, that's good. The web UI was just dumping raw JSON errors. That's awesome. Claude's still doing his thing over here with the grid. Well, thank you for verifying that the composite builds. The whole reason we're here. For the Minimax client, we're going to make, we're going to do a video client, we're going to do a chat coding client, and we're going to do a only problem, I need to fix that too. Claude's rebuilding grid here. Codex is still pushing 9,471 lines of code. This is 0 that bothers me the most. Will you be building a Discord server, or will you get this rolling first and see how it unfolds? I'd say how it unfolds first before I spend a lot of time working on stuff like that. Matthew's got a pretty good community over there. I like being a part of that, and you guys have all been real inviting, and so I think we'll either stick over there and then with Quad, or I just don't think 3 Discord servers is the move. But who knows, man? We'll see where it goes. It's day 1. We're 37 minutes and 29 seconds in. Kind of impressed we haven't dropped any frames. Stream looks decent. Oh, I can just get my lighting and my camera to work just fine. We'll be all right. What's going on, Bob? How you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping by. It's so cool to see people drop by. Welcome. Morning. We got the coffee. We're moving, dude. Good things come to those who wait. Or something like that. I like there's only been 2 chatters and you're number 3. How is that possible? Oh no, the air conditioning came on. Doing fantastic this morning. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're just hanging out. We're working on Grid, which is a Elgato Stream Deck, but just in software. And then we're going to work on an OpenClaw backend server that we're building. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue that. Let's get let's get the application running in so we can take a look. Yeah, it is a SMP7. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's real, though. Even if it's fake, it still sounds pretty good. Because I got it, so they sent it and it said it was from the United States, and I was like, okay. And then it came from China. I was like, oh. And then I tried to register it, and it wouldn't register. Jeez, I got flashbanged by my own app. Yeah, and I tried to register it on the website. It did not work. So it is what it is. It still sounds pretty good. So I think we'll just keep it. And if it's real, there you go. But normally my camera would be over there in the top corner, so this won't be right in my grill. My 5 head doesn't show my. Oh, you get the warranty and stuff like that, so it's Shantieta said, "Oh, you started to stream. I was wondering yesterday that you were gonna start streaming from Monday, but there you go. You finally started it today." Yeah, I had some family stuff I had to deal with the past couple days, and so we had to start a couple days late, and then 10 minutes late today. So, but I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. Good to have you here. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue that. How close are we to seeing an actual deployed product start up a OpenClaw server? The man, the myth, the legend. It's Quad Age, everybody. He's out of bed. Thank God. Thank God. I have in between, I have a mixer, but it's just a cloud, what do you call it? A Focusrite 2i2. It's pretty old, but it's okay. I have another one too. This Ailsys thing right here. This thing is hot garbage. I've been using this thing for years. It's got a little hiss to it, but I think we're back. Not sure, but I think so. We'll see. What's the idea for my voice app? That's all right. I know I need to move it to my Windows PC. I just need to connect my Mac to it. It's on the way. Sorry about that. I'm not really sure what. I know I only got 16 gigs of RAM in this Mac, but it should be doing a little better than that. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. All right. Okay, let's see. What's your idea, Quad? I need to fix that for Tahoe. Make it count at everything. You say no errors, it goes up. Let's add a no errors count to Sonic. Scribe. I don't even know the name of my own application. That's a good idea. I think we'll do that. I put it on my other Mac. It works really well. I think we'll build a Windows version of this too. And then we'll have quick cert sign it. Sounds like the move. Supersonic. It's like a really big burger place. Supersonic. Lucas says, do you know that there's something called Scribe? I keep getting bombarded with Scribe ads. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff called Scribe. For some reason, I come up with names that already exist for things. And I think they're neat, so I stick with them. If I could spell, it'd be great. Is there any way to keep OBS running but not like playing the preview so it doesn't waste all that? Die on stream first day. Bad move. We'll close Codex. Leave leave this thing closed. We'll just work on this for right now. Lucas says I just need something soft for my throat. Like, hey, coffee. I don't think that's what you were talking about, but all right, I got you. Let's also start it up when you get a chance. Start the Tower app. What did it say? It's also started up in a good chance. Start the Tari app. What? Who wrote this software? Good Lord. Man, that would have been bad. Talk for 35 minutes and choke to death on stream. That'd be the move, right? Flashbang. So yeah, this should be fun. I do not want to pay for one of these things. I pay for everything else, but I don't want to pay for one of these things. I don't know why. I have a touchscreen laptop I can put this on. It'd be a very unforgettable ending. Turn into his first and last episode on a very special. Kerr dies. Oh no. My wife comes around the corner. Stream's still going. I'm just decomposing corpse. Hell of a stream, boys. Hell of a stream. All right. All right, so we got some defaults in there. UI for this is pretty wonky. Stream until I die, day 101. Exactly. We had 4 viewers on our first day. That was worth it. I mean, yeah, you could probably find me. I've told you probably enough. Day 1, streaming until I pass. 7 people. Holy, 11 subscribers. What? Dude. There's 7 people taking time out of their day to come watch me talk to you or do whatever this is we're doing. And you have no idea how much I appreciate that. It means a lot. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here. I've never said the words like and subscribe, but hey, do what makes you feel good. All right. Let's continue with working these through. We want to make sure the buttons all connect through OBS WebSockets as well as work with the OS. I should really have a plan for my stream too. Yeah, I feel like if we have a plan, we can get through it and it'll make things easier for me. Like I think we talked about before, like I have no problems when other people change their plans. I get infuriated, but when I change my plans, it's no problem. He's already folded over. You can't subscribe anymore. App is compiled and running. Now let me do an audit of the OBS and OS action code paths. Oh, just the plan. Okay, if you die. All right. So yeah. So I bet there'll be a few minutes of there's no way he's actually dead, and then does anybody have his phone number? I get Doctor Vibe if you die. I will keep it going. I will keep the dream alive. I will do it. You know I have the skills. I have the ability. We can keep it alive. Preferably. I'd appreciate if you send the ambulance and not the police. get the push-up counter that Matthew's got, but it has the amount of the the amount of code, and then just one. When you die, it just changes to one. A single integer, 0 to 1. See, you had the right idea. Get the death counter. Clean compile. Let me stop the old server. Can we make that background black in the HTML so I don't flashbang myself every time you open the application? Quad says, well, the death counter can. If you go down, it counts up. But if you get back up, it goes back down to 0. Like if you fall asleep, it goes to 1. You're like, it doesn't know. And then you move and pops back up. Which is even more of a miracle, I think. That flashes the HTML loading before React. Let me fix it. Hey, look at that. No more flashbang. Just minimize that. But yeah, I'm super excited to do the Minimax client. I want to build a full, because they don't have their own. They just use Cloud Code. So I want to build a full chat application with that. Hard Hacker Harry says, if it stays at 1 for more than 60 minutes, it automatically calls the morgue for you. Does it vibe code a search for the cheapest morgue in the area? Like cheapest cremation, cheapest... That'd be an app for... Oh, that'd be a terrible app to have to code. Oh my god. Somebody's got to do it though. Alright, so... Let's see what we fixed here. Memory blocking fixes, ripple timeout cleanup on unbound, mutex drop from action, 5-second TCP timeout. Checks if OBS is down, closes the app. Little UI fix. Let's go add button. Test button. Test button. Icon text. The UI for the settings window is not scrollable. Let's overhaul the UX and the UI for this particular button settings window. Let's have more horizontal left to right than up and down. Because, you know, horizontal is better. Vibe code the world, baby. That's right. Hack the planet. It's too much. It's too big. It's too long. That's what she said. Hey. Live. Colors and animation. Animation style. Pulse. Action type. Launch app, close app, hotkey. It's too long. Action failed. Action value is required. See, it's got like a little pulse to it. Wong. get rid of that. I don't like it. Oh, come on. And it stopped. Cool. All right, so Max client, we're gonna do video, code, audio, and I think they have movies and image as well. And then we'll combine all those to make a single project. That looks better. I mean, it's not, but. No. No. Absolutely not. Sometimes you just gotta tell them what to do. How you feel? Kind of like this one. This one's a little better. But it's not, it's too much. Way too much. You can't have too many things and with outlines on them. It just makes the whole everything look like you can't look anywhere. But never mind. Both. We'll just do both of those. So what are you up to today, Quad? You gonna stream later? What's everybody up to? Lucas, Bob, what are y'all doing today? Hey, Nishan, I saw earlier that you liked the stream. Thank you so much for liking and staying around. It's going to become routine now. If you stream, then Matthew, then Quad at the end. That was the reason why I streamed early, because I didn't want to step on their toes, man. I dig it. I like watching them, so I wanted to have time to hang out, talk and chat. Right on. I'll be there. Quad says he's going to stream tonight at 5:30 Eastern time, so be sure to run by there and drop a like and a subscribe and check him out. He's always been super supportive of me, so we can be supportive of him. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. What are we doing here? Nobody's got settings on the same window. Gross. No. That's FLFG indeed. Always hype up the homies. There's enough for everybody. We can all have a good time, make a little scratch and make some applications and try to make some money. Have a little fun doing it. Talk to our friends. I don't know what this thing's doing. It isn't. What's up, Testy? Good to see everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you, man. No Claude cowork today on this computer, but maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll spend a day working with Claude cowork. We'll add it to the schedule. Let's add Claude Cowork to the schedule for next week. It doesn't know how to spell. This thing is just shit in the bed for... Let's work on the spacing for the settings inside the application. It's a lot. It's really large, left to right. I know I said more horizontal, but let's work on the UX a little bit. Let's make sure that things are grouped together that need to be grouped together. We don't have any redundancy. And we don't have any redundancy in data being shown. What are you up to this morning, Testy? Anything fun? Dentist? Chick-fil-A? Walking around the neighborhood, yelling at people? What do we got? So it doesn't actually save the button until when? There's no save button, so it auto saves. Let's make sure there's a save button at the bottom, and not auto saving when we change something. Auto save is fine, but I don't want to do a dirty save and keep it loaded, and then when we save it, put it in the JSON. We got the OpenClaw for this week. I think we'll probably work on that tomorrow. It's not called Sonic. What's my own application called? Oh shit! It's called Closed. Scribe. I don't know why I forgot what the name of my text-to-speech app was. We're gonna add a no errors. Saying the words no errors count to that. So every time we say no errors, it counts that up. Not just your words, but that specifically. We got Claude Cowork, OpenClaw server for next week. We'll do some deployment and testing with that. Hopefully we can have some people on stream try that out for free. That'd be nice. Well, I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate that. I'm not sure I'm quite as entertaining as those guys, but we'll get there. Day one, hour one. I already crashed once, so we're still working out the bugs. But I appreciate the support. No errors, dude. No errors. I already had errors. I didn't say no errors. That's the problem. I started the stream and I didn't say no errors. All right, then we got the Minimax client with a full API. We need to make sure we top up our account. Minimax was nice enough to give me a $50 voucher, so we're going to use that as well. Yeah, we got a couple things on deck for the stream here over the next couple weeks. We'll be going on vacation here at the end of March, so probably won't be here for a week, but we'll be back. just getting light outside. Nice. 8 o'clock in the morning. So any new models dropping this week that anybody knows about? I heard DeepSeek was supposed to come out with something new this week. But Anthropic will probably get mad. It's trained on all of our models. Get out of here with this bright white screen. Sheesh. Quad says when Dr. Vibe starts tracking people's problems, I'll add it to no errors tracker in there as well. It'll go straight to your vibe coding profile. Always thinking, man. Always thinking. How much data are you going to collect with Dr. Vibe? Like, you probably collect more data than the Chinese consulate, brother. You know, how many lines of code they did. You know, how long they worked for. You could probably pinpoint when these people are at home, when they're not at home, where they are in their house. And quit that. And we'll quit that. And let's go ahead and recompile the Rust app, and let's open that. The UI for the settings needs to be configured yet again. Let's come up with do some research on UX UI for desktop applications, and let's come up with a better fix. He says in parentheses, I'm on your side. I'm on everybody's side. I want to see everybody win. And then what it does is it hooks into the OBS WebSockets plugin and uses that instead. So I can put this on my computer here and run the other computer that's running the stream when tomorrow, when that gets here. So much easier. And then hopefully we won't run out of memory because I won't have everything on this computer. There you go. So Claude, I don't know if you, or Claude, I don't know why I call you Claude. Quad, the other day I was working on that design MCP, and you're like, it's not going to work. Because it put out some shitty design. And we kept working with it, and it got a little better. So now what it does is it goes through and it creates everything. So it starts with the design team, goes through the entire process of what should be on the website, SEO, whatever, and then it creates all the images So this is Nano Banana creating all of this stuff. And then it has a design agent. It's got a movement agent, like a movie star or movie director, to worry about movement and cinematography and graphics, and adds little flares and stuff to the background. It's got a movement guy. It's got colors, color correction. It still looks a little slop, but we're getting there. Looks a lot better than it did. This is like two. This was 3 prompts to get it here. So if you're just looking to build a website for somebody real quick, I think it's a pretty good idea. Yes, you did. You said it wasn't going to work. You said it will not work. I don't think this will work. I don't think that's a good idea, and you should stop doing it, I believe is what you said. The exact words that came out of your mouth. No, I'm just kidding. It's just weird how you can get you can program something to programmatically look at what it should be doing next. Like, okay, so I'm designing a website. How many people do I need to design the website? I need a creative director to handle everything. I need the designers. I need a web designer. I need a technical team. I need a graphics team. I need a photographer. I need all these different people to help the final project make sure it comes out really well. And so what I did was I just combined all the designers that I knew and any that Claude added, and we put them all into JSON and built souls around them to build out web apps. So I think it's a pretty good idea, but I'm not smart enough to know how the AI would use those to do that. I don't know how it's working is what I need to know how it works. If that makes sense at all. I don't know. I need to know how it works before I can just tell it what to do. One of us has to have a good marriage. That's true. Absolutely. And it's not going to be me, I'll tell you that. Where's the one that built you? Here's the original one that it built for itself. So this is the very first attempt that it did at using these designers. So it built a little hero, but it's still sloppy, and it's a little movement here and there. This page should feel like a concrete wall that someone has typeset beautifully. It's correct. And then garbage. Design systems from theory, not guesswork. We'll keep working on that too. It was a fun project I was working on yesterday too. It's kind of weird to see what the different designs that it spits out when you change what designers you give it, and the different teams that it builds to put your website together. It's not very good at UI editing for desktop apps though. I tried it. I'm like, just tell it you're Johnny Ive and Steve Jobs and design me an Apple application, no errors. The bottom of the drawer. Yes, correct. Correct. And then you can have as many pages as you want. You can have all the buttons you need. Delete pages, add pages. All right, what do we want to do here? Correct. And put the panel on the right. Make it a drawer. Slide out. Full width. Fine. 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 Verification. Good. Yeah, it's fine. Let's do that. Let's do exactly that. For OpenClaw server, we need to let's get Hetzner and DigitalOcean keys set up and running, as well as the software development kits and CLIs for both. Let's make sure Stripe is integrated. OpenRouter logging needs to be handled as well. We might use something like Loge for that, LOGE. I think it's called Loge. It lets you, Loge helps you handle per key and per instance billing for things like API keys and stuff like that. Every time they make a call, it automatically adds like a token to their system. Makes you pay for it. Okay. What else can we get done this week? Maybe we'll call the garage door guy live on stream and get him to come out and fix the garage door. Riveting. Hey, spell quick cert. Quad. Quick, QWICK. QWICK, sir. Okay. Got it. Using Vite to compile, running tests, making sure we're good. All right. Recompile the Rust application and open it back up. Let's see if it works. Recompile the Rust application. Recompile the Rust application. Let's make sure the settings window disappears when you uncheck the settings box from the button. It's a little better. But I don't like that advanced down there at the... Show an image. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's move the, in the Tari app, or sorry, in the Rust app, let's move the delete button to the very bottom, next to the, where it says no changes or save. Let's move that to the left, and then add a confirm to that window. The Atari app. I'm glad it understands that when I say Rust, I don't mean Rust. Getting better. Getting a little better. I just don't like this part right here. This is too much. It needs to be... I need to be able to select what I want and have it just put the icon there. But I don't know how it is in the Elgato software, so I'm not sure. But it probably doesn't look like this. Again, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I know it's early. I know you guys are doing whatever, getting ready for work and hanging out. But seriously, I appreciate it. It means the most to me. Thank you. Better. Put the delete button at the bottom. Thank you for thanking me. You're welcome, but you're not welcome. Okay, in the icon section, there's so many icons that it's overwhelming. How can we rework the UX on that for people to look at to make things easier on them? Or could we plan to add the words no errors to the count every time somebody says the word no errors? I wanted to add 1. Scribe is terrible, by the way. It's more my mumbling than it is anything. If you speak clearly and enunciate your words, usually everything is fine. No errors, Testy. No errors. I did forget to tell it no errors. Can't even spell errors. so hotkey. What is it? Why does it ask me what the value is if it's not, if it's going to have me put it here? Collapse the grid, show only the search box. Icons appear as you type. Minimal visual noise, collapse section. Pop over. We'll do search. That seems fine. Let's write that to a file plan. It looks like you already did that. So let's save that plan for later. It's like it's putting the, that's good. I like that. Globe headphones. Okay. Much better. All right, so we save that plan. That'll be ready to go for later. And we'll close that one. And we'll go back here. All right, so let's see what it changed here. Okay. All right, so the icons are in there. Favorites, OBS. Okay, that's cool. And it just says defaults for the different types. That's better. So we can do, all right, let's create a new one here. Add a button. And the open app. What app we're going to open? Applications. What do we got? Calculator. We'll just do the App Store. Not sure if that's going to work, but we'll do Shift L. We have to register those hotkeys. We need to be able to register the hotkeys in the OS before we can set them in the hotkey function inside the button setup. Apple is very testy with the way that you hook into keys on their keyboard or in their OS. The function key is like a well-guarded secret for some reason. All right, validate before saving. Unregister the old one first. Record hotkey by pressing. I'm typing a hotkey in the editor. Check if it's a valid shortcut. Unregister old one first. Record hotkey by pressing. Validate before saving. That's fine. Unregister the old one first. That's fine. I don't need to see registered hotkeys. Then we're good there. How are we doing? 0 drop frames. I'm amazed. Almost an hour. Very cool. I think my own application ran me into the ground there. I think I memory faulted myself down to nothing. I give it up to these guys who work on these Mac applications before AI happened. I couldn't even imagine writing Swift or C or whatever it was that they used before Claude. Ugh, terrible. Having to hook into all these OS patterns and deal with all this, I just don't. Linux and Windows was the way to go. Yeah. Claude says I can't imagine writing code at this point at all. Yeah, yeah. There's no point anymore. Like I get it. Everyone's like, oh, it's like kind of like the last gasp of developers. OG Tessie says, yes, you can. You can't imagine that being fun. You got a subscriber for life from me. Hell yeah, sure, bro. What's up, baby? I can't believe you let the channel die yesterday. It had to happen eventually, though. So that's good. I'm glad we were there for it. I'm glad that we got to see that. Thank you for stopping by, man. I really appreciate it. Good to see all the homies come out. All right, what are we doing here? Replace the current hotkey input. Auto hotkeys. Source tools validate hotkey. Since this is a Rust app running on Mac and Windows, we need to make sure that we integrate with their system calls for hotkeys. So let's make sure that that's correct. Sherpa says, I saw Quad try to write code the other day. It was an experience. He tried to write it. Let's put it that way. He did not finish. He did not finish it. That's what they always say. Did you write that? Did you write all that? I wrote some of it. The README, all of it's Claude, written by Claude. No, who cares if it's written by Claude? I know for a fact that it takes iteration like this over and over and over again to get buttons right. So if you're not writing software, it's fine. At least he tried. At least he tried. And that's what matters, right? He took the time to waste time to try. He knew better. Readme.md. Written with too many M dashes. Please believe me. Please believe me. I wrote the comment. He didn't write the comments. They were AI generated too. / AI generated. I didn't try. I did it. I really did. I'm a real boy. Hey, anybody that's still willing to write some code is okay in my book. But yeah, it's so funny when people are like, I helped write it, and you go look at the repo, and there's like 75 commits from Claude. You're like, you didn't write any of this. You wrote the English. All right, so that looks good. Need to make sure that we Harden that. That's good. What we're having to do is we're having it harden up the hotkey listener and hotkey setter in the operating system, because if you don't, they like to unbind themselves, and then you lose all the ability to do anything in your application, and we don't want that. We also have Apple signing keys and a developer account, so let's make sure that we're using those. Class says I'm going to make it so every single prompt is saved into the file and a repo that gets committed. Yeah, everything. No get ignore. Just push it all. It's like an FTP server. We're just going to grab it all. Force remote. Just make it one the app.ts file, the whole thing, and just span it all into one file and see if it works. You guys are great. I mean, we haven't got much accomplished in a couple hours, but, you know, we're moving buttons and pixels around. It's all right. But this all has to fit in a little window, so I think maybe we should take you to a whole page. Instead of just the right side there. Take you to a settings page instead of settings window on the right. Gives you more of your space back. Make the button smaller. That's true. Lucas says, what do you mean we only had 2 buttons on the grid when we started? There are 7 now. That's true. That's true. And so now we'll make it so it actually registers in the system as a hotkey, so you can use it in different windows. Have it listen. All right, I'll give you that. We accomplished that. We added 6 buttons and 6 pages too. Let's see. We'll have to do one more pass on the settings here after we get this in. Small wins is what matters. Yeah, small wins build big momentum. What do they say? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I just wanted something I could put on my tall monitor here at the bottom and be able to change scenes and do whatever I needed to do, or use the keypad buttons on the numpad to change scenes and things. I could just spend $149 and go buy this thing, but when you spend $200 a month on Claude, build it. All the changes are in place. Summary of what was implemented. Source utils, 3 helpers, converts keyboard events to target accelerator strings. All right, cool. Button editor, great. All right. I think what we're gonna do is change the settings to just a whole window. So have it open up the settings window, and then when we save it, it'll go back to the main window. I don't know if you guys saw, but Xcode has Claude in it now. Although it's super buggy and just super garbage, you get to about a 20,000 context window and it's Jover, dude. I don't want to use it new. Yeah, it's whatever. I'll do that later. Full screen takeover, separate OS window. Actually, I think we'll do. I like that full screen instead of other window. Yeah. So Claude, you get Quad? God bless Quad. did you get any of the back end stuff for Quick Start working? Do you end up staying with Superbase, or did you decide to go with something else? If you're still here. Well, at least you take it as a compliment and not as a as a dig or something, because it's definitely not a dig. Just my brain. My brain. See, it's getting it. Let me verify the app builds without errors. No errors, please. Build plans cleanly. Quit that. Not changing anything I need to ship. That's right. I think Superbase is fine. The reason, so I use it because of the CLI and the MCP server, and it's super easy to find errors in your SQL that Claude decides to throw in there for some reason. And then if you have some type of index that doesn't get used, it still throws an error to let you know that the indexes aren't being used. But as soon as that index gets thrown once, it takes it out of the errors. So like you'll have a lot of stuff that will sit until your first customer does something, deletes their first cert, like or deletes their account. Like you won't have anything for that, and it'll just be there forever, telling you that it's that your index is wrong, that you should delete it. Makes it nice. But Claude can teach you all about that. If you don't know. And I have found the only good thing about hosting, about using Superbase's cloud stuff, is that somebody else handles it. Having Superbase on your own machine is not something I want to deal with. Even with Claude handling it, it's a whole beast. Where are you going to host it? You can like your own stream, right? Is that a thing? It is. Look at that. 5 likes. That's so cool. Thank you guys for hanging out. Uh-oh. Here we go. A little better. What? it's still going. Okay. Yeah, it's really hard when you get to the very end. Like I was talking to somebody the other day about software development. It's a very much an 80-20 thing. You spend, you get down to the last 20% of your application, and it's like it takes just as much time as the rest of it that you've already done because you want to polish it. You want to make sure all the little things are perfect. And man, perfect is the evil of good enough. I have the same problem. It's hard to ship something out and hope people use it and check it out, and because you don't want anybody to say anything mean about what you're doing. Perfect is why people never make it. That's true. That's very good, Lucas. Lucas says, perfect is why many people never make it. Sometimes just good enough is good to go. It's like I was telling Matthew when that thing happened on a stream the other week. I was like, the train keeps going. You can't stop the train, and you can either get on or you can get off, but we're not stopping. So let's go. I don't know why I always say let's. Let's do this. Like you're doing it. Yeah, Lucas. It's all about getting the train, man. Music is vibey this morning. Kind of like it. Sitting here watching Claude do his thing. We're gonna make the buttons a little smaller. We're gonna add. Want to make sure this config gets fixed. Like I kind of like the full screen config because we know that we're changing just one button. We need to have a default where we can load them in and have just a basic set of buttons where you can start your stream, stop your stream, run your be right back, run your pause or whatever. It was too loud earlier. Is it too soft, or is it not enough, or is it good, or what? Yeah, it took me a minute, Bob. Thanks for coming back, buddy. I appreciate it. We memory faulted out with our own application, and it crashed us. So, way to go. Thanks, Claude. Thanks, Claude. But we've been going back. We've been back for about an hour. Look at that, an hour and 9 minutes. Hour and 10 minutes. 0 drop frames. 4% CPU, 60 FPS. Fancy schmancy. Make the buttons smaller. Make them pop. Make them bigger. So what are you up to today, Bob? Still working on your orchestrator, or you got something new going on? Just adding some more, making the button smaller here so we can put some more on there. Probably about half the size I think that they are now. Perfect. It's like he knows just what I want. All right, that looks much better. Let's make sure that all of the buttons are justified on a grid. Make sure that nothing overlaps and nothing is overlaying inside the button. When an icon is added to the button, it looks like it makes it a little bigger depending on the icon size. Let's make sure there's a standard icon size and standard GIF size for the backgrounds. Let's make sure. Let's do this. Let's do that. Robot, do what I tell you to do. No errors. Let's go. All right, at least it's opening up a different window now. It was opening up the same one before. Sounds good. Bob says, just got back from errands, working on a couple of new orchestrator adjacent projects, a digital twin generator, and selective acceptance testing tool. Okay. These are more for enterprise scale. Okay. I've never heard of a digital twin generator. Cool stuff. Fix the tile height. Tile run, I use 72 pixels instead of minimum height. Good. All right, that's good. See? Let's change a little. Can we lock the Rust applications window height and width and build it into a 1080p application, 1920 by 1080, please? Bob said, I didn't either about a week ago, but it's something I wish I had, so I'm going to build it. It's for creating fake versions of real services so you can do integration testing. Oh, digital twin. That makes sense. So like you create a fake AWS or you create a fake API of something to be able to mock up your application. That's cool. Why not just use the actual service? Just cost or whatever. I guess I should have made it 1080 by 1920, huh? Yeah, it's too big. says, yeah, like a copy of Stripe for API, for example, so you can pretend to make changes, charges. Stripe is probably a bad example because it has sandbox mode. Stripe also has, yeah, okay, speed, location, reproducibility. Okay, cool, yeah. Stripe also has Whisper too, where you can, it's basically Stripe on your machine. Listens to all the calls and make sure they're good. Yeah. But I understand what you're saying. I'm using Stripe as an example. That's a big ass application. All right, so I think we got a pretty good idea of what we want to get done this week. We want to make sure we can get the stream deck working. It's probably almost there. Probably another 2 or 3 hours off stream. We'll get that going. I think tomorrow morning for the first couple hours, we'll build the stream graphics and stuff. We'll probably work on the website a little bit and add the counter to no errors for Scribe. And then I think maybe later on this week, maybe Thursday, we'll start working back on the OpenClaw server implementation. It's pretty much have everything ready to go. It's it launches the server and starts the process. We just have to get Telegram working and auto configured so they don't have to mess with it once it's deployed. So you set up the entire deploy before you send it, and then you just send the deploy to DigitalOcean or Hetzner, and it runs for you. All wrapped around a little security layer where nobody else can get in. There's an API key inside of an API key, and then there's a PSK authorization. So, and then I want to get that working with Discord as well. Rebuilding this for 720. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I hit the mic. I don't know. Sorry. Make sure OpenRouter logging's good. Much better, much better, much better. Okay, now we'll just fit it in this window. Okay, that's what I wanted. Good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. The soothing sounds of vibe coding in the morning. Let's see. Okay. I don't think we have it doing the system keys yet. Press shortcut. I'll do Shift L. Oh, never mind. Looks like when you try to save a button, it beach balls the system. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, I don't know how these streamers do this without making a bunch of noise. Like in general, I make a lot of noise when I just sit here. I don't know how they do it without all that noise coming through. Banging on things, hitting the desk, clicking. I mean, my gain's as low as I can get it, and I guess I can put a pre before it or something. before the amp. The app is running at 1280 by 720, locked and not resizable, although it resizes from inside the application. So if I was Sherpa said, well, Matt makes a lot of noise, so yeah, I guess if I got down on the ground and started doing push-ups and stuff, I'd make a little more noise. I'm working on a Stream Deck app. I didn't want to buy a Stream Deck, and Elgato Stream Deck, so we're just going to build it in software. I have a touchscreen laptop I can use to do it instead. So instead of spending $100, we're going to use a $700 laptop and $200 worth of Claude. Like that. Like that. Right? It's efficient. I like it. I just don't need any more hardware. I just don't want any more stuff. The point of AI is to get rid of stuff. So we're going to remove a lot of the stuff. Okay, so it's 1280 by 720. All right. I know we worked on the settings being different already off to the right, but now that we resized the window, let's work on a different implementation. I don't mind it being the whole window to take over the settings, but let's make sure that we can keep the UX easy to use for the setting the keys and making this super easy to use for people to create buttons on quickly. Yeah, I'm not a fan of scroll bars. If you can remove everything and keep it simple, it's the best way to do it. Remove everything that's not needed, and you won't have to worry about coding things that you don't need. The holy smokes button doesn't work. That's good. Delete page. That doesn't work. Add page works. 7 settings. Delete page. Are you really a software developer if you don't add in features that are unneeded? Yeah. I guess when you don't have a boss telling you to ship a product in X amount of days, I guess it makes it a lot easier to add little things and scope creep a little bit. But focusing is good too. Making sure it gets done on time. You can move on to do something else. Like we were talking about earlier, perfection. There's no perfect. There's just working and not. I am super excited about building the MenuX client, though. I think that'll be fun building something from the ground up that works completely with an API. I think the video app will do. We're going to have it create videos from pictures. We have a couple ideas already for that. And code editor is just going to be. I don't think it's going to be an editor. I think it's going to be an agentic environment, just like Claude Code. We'll find something else to use for that. But it'll be a chat interface. Audio is pretty good. We'll build a little client inside of it to play music that you created. And then the video, obviously, is video creating. Make 720p or 1080p videos out of that. And we'll have that done with picture to video and text to video. happens now? Okay. Well, we can't have that. Actually, the button editor work at 720p. Currently it's at 280 pixels sidebar that squishes the grid. What layout do you prefer? Model overlay? No. Bottom drawer. Keep sideboard. I like the bottom drawer. One-click templates. Inline editing on tile. Simplified editor. We'll chat about this. I like the simplified editor. I also like the defaults. Sounds good. Let's try that. Want to make sure that we have defaults, so when people open it up, or when I open it up for the first time, you have things that work. You want to make sure, like, be able to change a graphic or put BRB or something on the screen. I wonder if we actually had an Elgato Stream Deck, if we could use it to control this. I wonder if we can control it from this. That'd be kind of cool. Wanted to use a different font. Let's also use a different font. And there is a font directory, one directory down from where we're at right now. Yeah, so the reason that it got me thinking about it, I used to work in data services. I actually have an ELO touchscreen monitor that would work well on that, I think. Yeah. So when I worked for a company out here that did a lot of restaurant installations. They had like seating software where you could, all the buzzers and things like that. They were one of the first people to do that, and that's where I learned about touchscreens and how people interacted with the screen. I would watch people use their sign-in cards or like a pen on the screen to tap, and I was like, stop it. Don't ever do that. Okay, gonna go. But yeah, ELO, there's a couple other companies that make some really good monitors. Like those are built for getting destroyed. If you can find an old Aloha POS system, they got really good ELO monitors on. Data services, that's the worst. I assume we're talking about the using the pen or the card on the. It made my skin crawl. Like their company just spent, $25,000 putting brand new computers and touchscreens in there for them, and she's got a pen, the back of a big ballpoint pen, just banging away on it. All right, so it's going through, it's changing up the window sizes here, trying to make sure we can fit everything inside the one little window. I'm trying to get the UI as clean as possible because I can't stand a cluttered UI. I just want to be able to go through it like a easy to use walkthrough. Service says, I used to work at a service desk analyst for one of the big box home improvement stores, and they had used ELOs as a project for a project they ended up closing out, so we got a bunch of them. Yeah. Those were a lot of money too. Like up until, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, they were super, super expensive every time you had to buy one. And they were the only one. They were the main folks for hospitality and retail. I remember we were the first company that had a Windows mobile app for a Windows mobile phone. And they thought it was so cool to have that. And I was like, this is not, why did you build this? Why did you spend the money building this? When Quad was talking about sending pizzas, that same company also runs the back end for Domino's. Domino's has a POS system called Pulse that they use that all runs through a database in Texas. I've been in that server room. And the Domino software developers are pretty ingenious themselves. If they, I can't even imagine once they got a hold of vibe coding and right on. Sure, it's funny you should mention that. I used to work with Domino's many years ago, and I remember when they rolled out Pulse. Yeah. The team, our adjacent team, used to do the support for that. I specifically think for the rollout too. But Domino's is in everything, man. They're hooking it up. They got cars driving themselves. They got robots driving themselves. They got all kinds of stuff. They're just trying to find anything that'll stick to sell a pizza. But I get it. I try to stay away from system fonts in my applications, so we'll try out Sony and see what happens. Let's go ahead and relaunch the Rust application. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody I talked to, even 10, 15 years ago, they were all on top of their game. Sherpa says Domino's innovation is top tier. To be honest with you, they got some of the smart folks. They do. Yeah, absolutely. They're a few years ahead of everybody. How is Claude doing this session? I wish they would give us a reset in our weeklies if we answer that question. Much better. Look at that. I mean, you can't close it, but that's fine. Okay, so now when you open up the settings and you press the settings button again, you can't change, it doesn't close. Let's also do a dirty save check to make sure that if you try to close it and there is changes that aren't saved, that we could save those or ask to save. Also used by button 7. Good. Color. Color picker. Nice. Save. Red button. Look at that. As Matt says, let's go, boys. Let's be able to change the button color back to default gray if we want to. It's like when you clean your room, but you shove everything into a closet. That's what this window's like. Just shove all the appearance and icons in that window. They don't need to see it. Also, it looks like you just shoved everything into the more button. Can we do something with that? Yeah, nobody. don't worry about what's behind that door. No, we don't worry about that door. That little guy? We don't worry about that little guy. Sherpa says, ignore the icons behind the curtain. I'm using my own application for voice transcription. It's called Scribe. Everybody's got one. It's all the rage. You can get it at cur.dev/scribe or scribe.cur.dev. It's free. Mac only. You can go to scribe.cur.dev right there and download from Mac OS. And then you can pick what you want to pay for it. Do 0. Let's put your email address in there. Hit continue. So you can do you don't get my email at nowhere.com. 0. And then continue. And then you get your own key. You don't have to register it. It just has a registration just in case you want to come back and get it. Because we're going to be adding some more features in later. And if you're registered, it makes it easier. And that's usually in this window right here. There's also an App Store version that's ready to go. We just got to get it to App Store readiness before we send it. And you can get more than one key if you want. If you want to give it out to somebody. If you type the same different email address in, it'll give you a different key. If you type the same email address in, it'll give you the key that you used to have. And if you have more than one, it'll show those keys too. And it does all the cool things like the rest of them do. It's all local only. It doesn't ever go on the internet unless to get the model the first time. But you can load all these different models. Multi-language. I have multi-language models built in. It's pretty good with Spanish. It's pretty good with German. I need to have Kaz check it out and see how well it does. But I like it. It was a lot of fun to get on. It's completely built in Swift. It's not Tari or Electron. It's native Swift. And it's signed. Fancy. All right. Let's recompile the Rust app and check it out again. Okay, that's cool. Proper Apple app, yeah. Bob says proper Apple app. Yeah, I like building things natively. I think having a bunch of layers in between. I mean, it's fine, it works, but it's so many system things you got to deal with on both sides that I think just building it locally is the move. All right, cool. So now when you save the color, it gets rid of it. Icon's easy to change. Action. Show command. Claude. Dangerously. Dangerously skip permissions. I'll do Shift C. I'll make it orange because it's Claude. Action failed. Let's see if open works. I don't know why that would work. Okay. Let's have a selection for commands that we can do. Like if you want to open an application, have it say like open, close, whatever in a drop down, and select the correct commands for that, and then have it be able to type in whatever application you want or command, and then go from there. So what we're doing now is we want to make sure that when you actually run the command that it's actually running. So you want it to be able to do what it's supposed to be doing. So what I'm trying to have it do is when I click on this button that says Claude, I want it to open up a new terminal window and open up Claude. Baud. Basically what I want to happen is when I type in, or when I press the button I want for Claude, I want Claude to come up. Cloud. Never mind that. Backspaced. Man, time flew by this morning. Anybody know if Matthew said he was going to stream today? Anybody know if he's feeling any better? I haven't checked the Discord this morning. Yeah, man, I'm really enjoying hanging out here with you guys. Like you said, it always flies when you're doing something fun. Ah, there we go. That's much better. Send a hotkey. So I press this hotkey to send a hotkey. Okay. Okay. This is where we have it. Pull up the website, or we can't. So the problem is with Tari applications and on Mac is that you can't use Playwright to test them because it doesn't. Yeah, that's what it's going to do right now. It's going to try to test the website. So because they don't work on, because they're not registered, it's not going to work. It shouldn't work. We'll see. Say it works perfectly in the browser preview. The button, upload a test button. Status shows saved. Views your issue. That's the issue. Create a button. Template. Open it. See. The Rust backend looks fine. All actions or types are handled. The action error user saw was probably a real error from the hotkey execution. Likely accessibility permissions, like I said, not granted in macOS. This wouldn't be related to our changes, but wait. It could have been an issue with a new created button from the template picker. I like when it talks to itself. Maybe. Let me check it. Perhaps the template is creating a button within. That's correct. It did. That's the issue. If you create a button from a template like OpenApp and immediately try to run it without filling in the app path, the button backend returns an error. It's actually correct behavior. You can't open up an app without specifying which one. The error message just isn't very clear. The status toast is probably showing action failed. The issue is that I filled in the application and it still said the same thing. Let's have an application picker, like a browse button, where you can select and it puts in the path for you that you need to open the application. Never give the user a choice. Always guide them where to go. We're getting there, though. We're getting there. Where? Oh. I was like, where did my application go? I like how instead of fixing the bug, it created a modal to tell you that there was a bug. I love Claude. Send hotkey. Okay, that's good. I'll let you. Okay, so the shortcut opens up, does the thing, and then it runs that key combo. Okay. And if you want, once you open an application. Okay, so you can browse when that works. So we'll do activity monitor. We'll just see what that opens up. Actually, let's do this. For testing, we will open up Oh my gosh. We're there, boys. Finish this app. No errors. That's about right. It crashed with a seg fault and a memory error. Can we take a look? It crashed with a sick phone and a memory error. How about exit? Can I exit? Oh, that was probably the wrong Claude. Okay, no. Here we go. Crash fixes in place. Should be stable. So we'll do Shift C. Hey, look at that. Opens up Claude. Q. Claude, you cheeky bugger. Quit. There you go. Hang on while we take a copy of your desktop and send it to Anthropic. One moment. We see you're building another application. One moment while we steal this and release it on our website. We're now packaging up your application to put it on the site immediately. Please go to anthropic.com/grid. Okay. Browse works there. Okay. Ugh. So bad. I guess it's not really stuff you need, but Claude. Action, we can do switch scene. The BRB scene. Get one of those. Save that. Okay, closing the drawer is a little wonky because I should just be able to click the settings. If it's saved, I should be able to just click the settings dot again and have it close that window. There's a new MacBook out called the Neo. Interesting. My girlfriend walked in my office and heard you talking. Thought it was me. Well, all right. Tell her hi from me. Hope she's having a good day. It should ask you to save if you have changed any data inside the form fields below it if you've pressed settings. There's the problem right there. What is this new MacBook, man? Poor Bob. We also look kind of similar. She said she wants to cut my hair and beard like yours. I don't know where this is going. My hair and my beard are super long right now. I just haven't. I'm kind of a hermit right now, so we hang out at the house. But I have an appointment on the 18th. My lady that cuts my hair and does my beard is the owner of the place, so her appointments are few and far between. I used to have long hair and a man bun, and yeah, so a little shorter now. All right, so it added the edit to that, and so there we go. Well, there you go. You were me a little while ago. I might grow the hair back out. Am I you? Maybe that's the issue. I'm just in the future. Do you have a really bad right shoulder that can't go very far? It's to itch your shoulder. No changes, close immediately. Unsave changes, clicks OK. Do it, you quad. Rejoin the long hairs faction. My dad, when he was alive, he always had really long hair and a beard, and that was his thing. Like he was a hippie, and so he had his long hair and his beard. He had a stroke getting out of his truck, and they took him to the hospital, and they immediately shaved his beard for whatever reason. I guess because I don't know if he needed to breathe or something. I don't know what the deal was, but they shaved his beard off, and I walked by him like he was laying in the bed, and I walked by him. I didn't even recognize him. It was weird. Very, very weird. To add a depressing story to a hair story. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. Didn't mean to. No changes, close immediately. The settings drawer disappears before the save window goes away. Yeah, my wife's a fan of the beard and the longer hair, so you know. Just having long hair is, whenever you take a shower, man, it's a thing. You gotta moisturize. You gotta keep it going. Everything. It's just a whole thing. Also, instead of making it just pop open, can we slide it up and make it bounce a little bit? Hey. Need some more coffee here in a minute. Oh man, it's almost 10 o'clock. So I think at 10 we'll call it, and then I'll get my camera fixed up and we'll be ready for tomorrow. I think we'll be the move. But I am excited to where we're going to do with the stream. I do little things each day. We'll build some big things together and go from there. I think it's kind of cool having everybody hang out this morning and come and watch and say hey. It means a lot to me that you guys all came and showed out a little bit. Interaction's always fun. Ooh. Ooh. Now do the opposite when it closes. That's right. Yeah, we were saying that earlier. Lucas was saying that earlier. It's about small steps makes big things. Oh, it's so good. A little bouncing animation. Nope. That's not what I wanted. It works too good now. Oh, that's so nice. Do people even care about that stuff? Is it just me that cares what the UI looks like when it opens, when the drawer opens? What is this? Why? We're finishing up. We have almost all of your data ready. Packaging it up now. We have your bank, all of your API keys, credit cards. Not collecting medical data. Complete. Yeah, I think so too. Bob said you should care. Little things matter, especially for the vibe code stuff. Yeah, it's little things, like it's little quality of life things, like a bouncing animation when it pops up, or just something, slick, or a little character or something. That's why I think Quad's Dr. Vibe thing caught on pretty quick. It's just a small kitschy little thing that it just hangs out and brings people together. I think it's a talking point, and it's just it's little things, like we said, little things built up into one big thing that allows people to do what they want to do. Dr. Vibe, slick. No, not again. Not again. Thank you for opening Claude. Okay, that's good. All right, now let's see. I gotta stop trying to type. Let's work on the OBS integration. Let's work on a plan to make sure that we integrate into OBS completely. If we have to use the OBS WebSocket application, that's fine. If we can use native OBS, that's even better. And we'll put that in plan mode and let it rip. Has anybody looked at this new MacBook? This MacBook Neo? Apple just released an hour ago. Quad says trying to crank out some updates to Quad Lab website. Absolutely. Do you host that website locally on your machine at your house, or do you have that on a server somewhere? Just a cheap MacBook? Okay. So that's weird that they would have another version of, is it in between the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, or is it cheaper than the MacBook Air? Running on a server, Quad said, okay. I remember you said something about Fly.io. I forget what you said. Where you host all your stuff. Run something. $600. Oh, I bet it's gonna be all AI integrated. Yeah, they just added Claude to Xcode last week. If you're in the betas for Tahoe and for the Mac OS, it's not too smart. Lots and lots of work to do. I was inside Xcode and it told me to open up Claude and run a command. Right. Oh no, that means, oh no, I know where they're going with this. They're trying to build what was Google's thing? Google, that Chromebook thing. Doing a little research on OBS, trying to figure out how we can integrate. Love at first Mac. Bob says tagline is love at first Mac, indicating that people who'd never had a Mac before. Yeah, I mean that's how you get people to get your thing. Apple's always been looked at as like the cool kid stuff, and then everyone just thought they were pretentious. So I don't like being locked into the same ecosystem for everything, but if it works, it works. You know what I mean? Like continuity works. My MacBooks work. Plug it in. It works. Most of the time. Oh, okay. So it's basically just an iPad with or an iPhone with a keyboard. Bob says A18 CPU. That's an iPhone processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 13-inch screen. Yeah. Isn't a MacBook Air already that? Isn't it the same specs? I think mine's an M2. I wonder if this was the first one built on their own fab. I assume they're probably trying to get away from TSC and all the chip manufacturers and just do their own. Still doing some research on OBS. I want to make sure we get everything integrated correctly. I'll probably run through this for a few more minutes. Yeah, Bob Nolan says they're releasing new versions of the Air and Pro 2. Is that going to be? I wonder if that's today or they're going to do that at the next event. I wouldn't mind getting a new MacBook Pro. Compacting conversation. Jeez. That's like the most powerful processor they had for a while, and now it's just like on the starter MacBook Air. That's insane. I might just get a new MacBook Air. Where's my... Oh, it's outside. Yeah, my Air. I mean, the Air that I have is I think it's 8 gigs of RAM, but it's an M2. It cloud coded everything for me for the first year. ChatGPT too, copy and pasting. That was quite the fun time. Once they can get rid of this compacting conversation stuff and just have it always be everything be in memory, it'd be much better. I think it's funny though, we were talking about before, but these are the worst these models are ever going to get, ever. It's only going to get better from here. All right, defaults, new OBS stream, delete, confirm. Oh, look at that, nice. Looks like it's done with its plan here. Excuse me. Oh, I need coffee. Sorry if you heard that. Stomach is growling. Bob says open code compactions are almost instant. I wish Anthropic would let me use it. Yeah. I also want to check out Mark's project. Mark built a compressor just like in his spare time. It's great with codecs. Yeah. I haven't actually seen, so I use the Codex app as well. The actual, like their chat like app thing that you can use. And I don't think I've ever seen it compact inside the application. I know that it compacts inside the CLI, but I've never actually seen it say compacting in the web app. The same thing, like the context compressor, like it's a better version of what Anthropic's got, and you can run it by itself, so it compresses while it's going instead of while Claude's messing with it. All right, a little more OBS integration here. WebSocket enhancements. We already have pretty good support, so that's good. We'll start off here with WebSocket 5 protocol via Tungstenite. Already in use. Let's see. Ooh, my stomach. Capabilities, all good. Seamless drop-down connection test. We just got to get the webhooks plugin installed in OBS, but I think we'll do that off stream. And I think we'll work on this some more tomorrow. We should be able to do this. We made some pretty good progress today. We got buttons working. We got the config set up. We got a little motion. Looks good. Looks good. We're able to set up new buttons, add applications, launch applications, do system keys. That's exactly what we wanted for today. So we'll build a little stream deck and not have to pay for the hardware. I think what else I want to do is add the audio. There's on the new stream deck, there's audio dials. I think we'll figure out how to add those down here so we can mess with that. But I think that will be good for today. But yeah, Mark's compressor that he built, Bob, was pretty cool. He showed it on the Vibathon a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. I didn't understand it at first. I had to watch it a couple of times to figure out what it was doing. But yeah, it's a better compression rag than what Cloud's got going for it. My keyboard disconnected. It's nice. Okay. Let's also add the ability to check and see if OBS has the plugin installed to be able to use it. I don't want to just willy-nilly start it up and then OBS doesn't have it and we're starting to send commands and it doesn't work. If you go to, Bob says, how do I find it? You find the compressor. If you go to the BridgeMind.ai website, and I think the Vibathon stuff is still there, I think you should be able to find it. His name is Mark. I think it's compressor. I think he was towards the beginning, I believe. Quad would know better. He was looking at that. Or Mark's usually in the Discord during the day. He was on vacation, so he's probably coming back from that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Watch the video. Bob says, I think I found it. Yeah, just watch the video, check it out, see if it's something you could use. It's definitely a different idea, I'll tell you that. I'm just going to go ahead and let this run. Yeah, super compact. Yeah, that's it. LLC. He puts all of his stuff under businesses so he can write it off. That's the way to do it. This is a large implementation across 7 files. But I think it's cool. We'll get OBS integrated into this so we can control the stream from the deck here, and make it nice and easy. We can still have OBS open up in the background. Maybe run a command line so it runs a little less. Takes a little less system resources. I wish Codex could figure out dates. Or, ChatGPT on the website, creating images. Excuse me, jeez. All right. I think that's going. It's got a couple more to go there. I'll let this finish up here. It's already updated the back end and the front end. Looks like it's done now with button editor. I'll make sure it compiles and then we'll check it out. Looks like it compiled correctly. Making sure everything's all hooked up, ready to go, ready to work, do its thing. Can we compile the Rust app and check it out? Discombobulating. There we go. Claudia. Open app. Nice. We got a lot more OBS Studio stuff here. We can switch a scene. We can preview this new scene. We can stream control, recording control, toggle source, mute and unmute the audio. And we have a check in the application to make sure that they have the WebSockets plugin installed inside of OBS. Yes? Now it's going to run its checks to make sure that they work. Gross. Get rid of that settings window. My poor dog. Let's see if I can get my dog to come over. She's walking away from me currently. To answer your question, yes, OBS check available. Command in on main RS does a two-step check. TCP probe, 2-second timeout, tries to connect to the configured host port. It's not running. WebSocket handshake identified. TCP port is open. Is 2 seconds too fast? Make any visual difference, but let's see. No icons, good. Open app, good. Action. Oops, didn't mean to open Cloud again. Stop. Okay. So I wonder if I hit, okay, so if I hit that and I hit that. If you're in the settings window of one button and click the settings button of another button, it doesn't disappear and come back. It just loads the new settings. Let's have it slide away and then slide back. You say hi? This is Peach. Peach says hi. All right. Peach is 13 years old. She's an old lady. She sheds everywhere. Everywhere. All right, we're going to let this finish up, and I think we're going to call it for the day here. I want to thank everybody, absolutely everybody, for coming out and saying hey and supporting us on this very first stream. It was absolutely amazing. We went from, I think, 5 subscribers to 11. We hit 5 likes on the thing. People watching, hanging out. I had a good time. Lucas, Bob, Quad, Ashanti. What else we got? We got Sherpa in here. Thank you guys so much for coming out. It means the absolute world to me. All right, this looks like it's complete. Absolutely, we'll be back tomorrow morning. Bob says, good stream. You see you tomorrow. Absolutely. We will be back. All right. I think I'm going to leave this for tomorrow. Like I said, thank you guys so much for coming out. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. That's the first time I've ever said that ever in my entire life about my own thing. So I appreciate that. If you guys could do that. But I think we're going to end it for today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, no errors.